Seitz from the Greater Reading Convention and Visitors Bureau, and welcome to Destination Reading. I have a great guest with me today. It's Ellen Horan from the Chamber of Commerce. Ellen, I know one of the reasons we wanted to get together and speak today was to talk a little bit about the tourism industry and how effective it is for really the growth and the economic prosperity of Reading and Berks County. I wondered if you could share with me maybe a little bit about your thoughts about the industry and how it helps with a business like the Chamber.
Well, the Chamber is made up of many members, and they're always looking for new business, new leads. They can more easily market to the people, the audience they know about, but reaching visitors is something that's better done collectively. And I think that's probably one of the key things that the Convention and Visitors Bureau does, is market the region, which individual businesses aren't going to do.
Right, they're just not used to it, or perhaps they're small, they don't have the dollars to be able to do that.
Right.
And let's face it, I guess what we do is really, we're the cheerleader for Reading outside of the borders of Berks County. That's
Absolutely.
how we get the message out. So with that said, I know as chambers you deal with small and large business. Does it help in other ways? Are there things that it helps with when people are looking to maybe move their business or move to another area to work?
Absolutely. That's one of the bigger challenges that businesses have right now, is attracting and retaining talent. And what's good for the visitor is good for the resident. When we're trying to attract talent in from outside of the region, they know what they hear, they know what their perceptions are.
Right.
So the Visitors Bureau focusing on a positive perception out there is absolutely helpful to businesses. The other area is attracting and retaining millennials, which is a special issue within attracting and retaining talent. And millennials want to live in cool places.
Right.
And we need you to be promoting the region. Chamber has a role in that too, but the Visitors Bureau and marketing it is absolutely essential in having millennials think about our region as a cool place to live and work.
Yeah, and it's so important. So often, I know when we talk to some of our local friends, like our restaurants, they'll say, we have our bread and butter, the local people that come in religiously to eat at our restaurant. But then it's the on top kind of stuff that we need to push us over the growth edge for our business. A good example is the Jehovah's Witnesses conventions that come in. You'll see them spread throughout the county over the summer, enjoying food, enjoying entertainment, golf. They go to the miniature golf businesses, and it helps. It just gives them that little extra bump, because you can't just always count on who's here. But I really like the fact that it does attract millennials. And I know both you and I sit on advisory panels with economic development, and more so you than myself. But we know that it's really important that we try to attract these younger people, because that's where our growth will come from. And that they will become the stability of our workforce as we move along. We can't just count on people like you and I any longer.
It's going to be essential as the boomers are now starting to retire, although perhaps after the last little bump in the stock market, they might stay on a little longer, and we need them.
Maybe there was a reason for that.
Yeah, we need the millennials in our community. And Pennsylvania is an older state, so that's not just a Reading or Berks County issue. Millennials, they want to go to vibrant cities and urban areas, and so we need to play that up. Having a vibrant downtown, working on that's something that we're trying to work on very much, but also playing up our great outdoors, because that's another significant attraction point.
We're so lucky that we were just named an International Mountain Biking Ride Center, bronze level.
That's right, and the Visitors Bureau helped with that designation.
We helped with that, but BAMBA, give credit where credit's due, the Berks Mountain Biking Association was really the instigator of the whole
key driver.
thing. Yeah. And with that, we know that we'll get younger people in here. Of course, their demographics are even people 45 to 60 years old that are riding, that really they have $100,000 in income a year. They'll come in and they like to eat. The different piece that we have is we are an urban ride center. So we have a city with trails that come into our city, so they can enjoy things that are happening in Reading and West Reading. They can come in for dinner, get off their bike, come in, have a beer, have dinner, see what we have, ride back to where they started from, and then come up for entertainment. So we're really fortunate, because there's only 37 of them in the world.
Wow,
we're one
did
of
not
them.
know that.
Yeah, we are one of them, so that's all good.
Yeah.
So, you know, with respect to business coming in too, I know often we hear about businesses looking to bring their business here, but they want to know what else is there for their employees, because
Absolutely.
we all hear this every day, that it's really tough getting employees into businesses now that stay,
Right.
and that show up every day because
Right.
they figure, well, I'm here, it's not really a place for me, they move on.
Right.
Is that helpful? Do
Absolutely.
we touch that?
Retention. It's much easier to keep a customer. It's much easier to keep an employee rather than constantly recruiting. And part of that is engaging them. Okay, engaging them in your own workplace, you have some accountability for that. But to get them engaged in the region as well is equally key.
Yeah.
And that's something that individual businesses don't have control over,
Right.
Don't want to take accountability for. They need organizations like the Chamber and like the Visitors Bureau
do
to
that.
really work on that for them.
Yeah, well, we have our work cut out for us, I guess, but we have great people helping us along the way. We have Craig Poole, who we'll be talking to in a few minutes, who's in our city helping to cheerlead everybody on and rally the people to really make a change and revitalize. And then we have our commissioners and our municipality leaders who are working to keep things going really strong out in the county. And then we have groups like yours and mine trying to do it, because you know, we love Berks County and we're here to stay.
You know, Crystal, that's what I think people are really looking for, is leadership.
Right.
So you do a great job at the Visitors Bureau, and
Thank you.
Very much needed.
Yeah, and I know we work really well together, and I applaud the two of us for doing that, because it always hasn't been that easy, and you and I seem to know we're on the same path, and we want to make a difference. So thanks so much, Ellen.
Keep up the great work.
Thanks, I appreciate your time. Take care.